It's pretty amazing when you stop and think about it. Right now, as you're just sitting there, your body is performing millions of unbelievably complex tasks, and you're not doing a thing. So today, we're going to go on a little journey inside to see how this whole system masterfully runs itself. And our starting point? It's something you're doing this very second. Just taking a breath.
So let's start there. What really happens when you breathe in? I mean, it feels like the simplest thing in the world, totally automatic, right? But behind that one single inhale is this incredible chain reaction, a cascade of perfectly timed events that are literally keeping you alive. Let's pull back the curtain on this simple little act.
To get why we breathe, we kind of have to zoom out for a second and look at the two processes that power pretty much all life on this planet. It's actually this beautiful partnership. On one side, you've got photosynthesis. Plants take in the stuff we breathe out, carbon dioxide, use sunlight, and make food. And lucky for us, they release the oxygen we need. And then there's us, doing respiration. We use that oxygen to burn our food for energy, and what do we release? Carbon dioxide, which the plants need. It's life's perfect little recycling program.
Okay, and that brings us right to our first stop on the tour, the lungs. This is ground zero for that essential exchange. Think of this place as the body's main air purification plant, where the outside world officially meets your inside world.
What's so cool is that before air even hits your lungs, it goes through this amazing prep station. Your nose isn't just a couple of holes in your face, right? It's lined with tiny hairs and mucus that acts like a filter, trapping all the gunk like dust and germs. And at the same time, all these blood vessels warm the air up to your exact body temperature. So by the time that air gets to your delicate lungs, it's been perfectly cleaned, warmed, and humidified. It's genius.
So let's follow the air down, shall we? It comes in through your nostrils, then goes down the trachea, your windpipe. And this tube is pretty smart. It's held open by these little rings of cartilage so it never collapses. Then it splits into two main branches, the bronchi, one for each lung. From there, it's like a tree branching out into smaller and smaller limbs called bronchioles, until it finally reaches its last stop, millions of these tiny bubbly-like air sacs called the alveoli. And that is where the real magic happens.
Now, check this out. This table tells the whole story. Look at the numbers. The air we breathe in is about 21% oxygen. Makes sense. But look at the air we breathe out. It's only 16% oxygen. So, where'd the rest of it go? Now look at carbon dioxide. You breathe in practically none, but you breathe out a full 4%. That's the trade, right there in the data. Your body just snatched the oxygen it needed and dumped the waste it didn't, in a fraction of a second.
So once that oxygen gets into the blood, the body's next massive job kicks in, keeping everything inside perfectly stable and balanced no matter what's going on outside. This incredible balancing act has a name, homeostasis.
So what is homeostasis? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like your body's internal thermostat, but for everything. Whether it's freezing cold or scorching hot outside, your internal temperature, your water levels, your salt balance, all of it has to stay in this incredibly narrow, perfect range for your cells to even survive. It's this constant, active, behind-the-scenes adjustment.
And here's a perfect example we've all felt. When you get too hot, your body brings blood closer to the surface of your skin to get rid of heat. That's why you get all flushed, and of course, you start to sweat. When you're cold, the total opposite happens. Blood vessels clamp down to keep heat in, and your muscles might even start shivering to generate more warmth. It's a brilliant and completely automatic response. But homeostasis isn't just about temperature. It's also about keeping things clean, keeping your blood free from all the waste products that your body naturally makes. And that huge responsibility falls to the body's ultimate filtration system, the kidneys. Your kidneys really are the unsung heroes of this whole operation. These two little bean-shaped organs filter your entire blood supply, over and over again all day long. They pull out nasty metabolic waste like urea, while at the same time they're carefully making sure the balance of water and essential salts is absolutely perfect. It's a filtration job with incredible precision.
So how on earth do they do it? Well, if we zoom way in, we find the real workhorse. This little guy, called the nephron. Each one of your kidneys is packed with over 1 million of these microscopic filtering tubes. This is where the heavy lifting of blood purification actually goes down.
And the process itself is brilliantly simple, at least in concept. It's basically a two-step dance. Step 1 is filtration. High pressure forces basically everything, water, salts, glucose, waste, out of the blood and into the nephron. Then comes step 2, reabsorption. As all that stuff flows through the tube, your body's like, whoa, wait a second, and it pulls all the good stuff, the water, salts, and glucose it needs, back into the blood. And what's left over? Yep, that becomes urine.
Okay, so we've seen breathing, temperature control, and blood filtering, all happening at the exact same time, all perfectly managed. It kind of makes you wonder, who's in charge here? Who is conducting this incredible symphony? The answer is in the body's command and control systems.
See, your body basically has two main ways to send messages and get things done. There's a super fast electrical network for when you need an instant response, and then there's a slower chemical-based system for more long-term sustained control. We call them the nervous system and the endocrine system.
And you can see the difference right here. On one side, you've got the nervous system. It shoots electrical signals around at lightning speed for immediate reactions. Think about pulling your hand away from a hot stove before your brain even has time to say, ouch. That's the nervous system. On the other side, you've got the chemical or endocrine system. It uses hormones that travel through your blood. It's way slower, sure, but its effects can last for hours or even years, controlling things like your growth and metabolism.
So when you put it all together, the breathing, the balancing, the filtering, the constant messaging, you realize your body is running on the most sophisticated autopilot you could ever imagine. Just stop and think for a second. What if you had to do all of that consciously? If you had to remember to take every single breath, command every heartbeat, and manually adjust your blood chemistry minute by minute? It's kind of a staggering thought, isn't it? It really makes you appreciate the magnificent, self-running machine that you get to call home.